He built the foundations of an Islamic empire that would expand over 3 continents and rule for more than 600 years. His name was Usman, and he was the founder of the Ottoman Empire. Osman Ghazi, the son of Ertugrul, was born in 1258, the year of the Mongol siege of Baghdad. His father had ruled a small territory as Bey in Soud, defending the Seljuk border against Byzantine attacks. When Ertugrul Bey passed away, Osman became the leader of the Kayyu tribe and started to expand the borders of his father's territory. Osman became known as an expert in war and peace, and with the Mongols wreaking terror across Anatolia, many refugees found a home in the Beylich of Osman, increasing the number of warriors in his tribe. According to legend, Osman had a dream in which the branches of a tree grew out of him and covered areas in Europe, Asia and Africa. A wind blew which pointed the leaves of the tree towards Constantinople, the future capital of the Ottoman Empire. Around 10 years after he became Bey, Osman symbolically created an independent state when he refused the tribute payment to the Mongol emperor and began a long conflict for Byzantine lands. Osman and his men captured the key forts and cities of Eskişehir, İnönü, Bilecik, and eventually Yenişehir, where he established a capital for the new Ottoman state. This gave the Ottomans a strong base to lay siege to Bursa. Although Osman had been rapidly acquiring land since 1288, they were mainly rural with nomadic peoples. 1326 marked a turning point with the death of Osman, who lived just long enough to hear of the surrender of Bursa after a 5-year-long siege. He made it the capital of the Ottoman state, which made it a key player in events affecting the Middle East, Europe and Africa. According to legend, this was Osman's final piece of advice to his son Orhan. "My son, I am dying, and I die without regret because I leave such a successor as you. Be just, love goodness and show mercy, give equal protection to all of your subjects, and extend the law of the Prophet ﷺ. Such are the duties of princes upon earth, and it is thus they bring on them the blessings of heaven." As a ruler and commander, Osman received great loyalty and respect. He was known to be just in his decisions and in his treatment of all citizens, regardless of ethnicity or religion. Osman ordered his son to bury him in Bursa, and his tomb, just like his legacy, still stands hundreds of years later. Who was the 21-year-old man who conquered the unconquerable city?
His name was Fatih Sultan Mehmet, the son of Sultan Murad II, the seventh leader of the Ottoman Empire, a descendant of Ertugrul Ghazi. Fatih had memorized the Quran, studied hadith, fiqh, mathematics, astronomy, and military strategy from a young age. He was also fluent in 7 languages, including Arabic, Persian, Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. His father allowed him to rule over a region of his empire with the guidance of scholars from a young age to prepare him for what lay ahead. From the time he was 7 years old, his mother Humavelide Hatun would often take him to the seaside and point out to the land on the other side and ask her son about it. He would say, "That is a great city," and she would always tell him that one day he would conquer it. That city was Constantinople, and it had been the capital of the Byzantine Empire for more than 1,000 years. It seemed almost unconquerable. But at just 19 years old, Fatih became the leader of the Ottoman Empire. When his father passed away, he began planning the conquest of Constantinople immediately and would not speak or allow anyone else to speak with him of anything other than the conquest. His first plan was to take control of the Strait of Bosphorus so he could prevent any support or supplies that might come from Europe. He built a castle on the narrowest part of the Strait of Bosphorus, opposite the castle of Anatolia, which was built by his great-grandfather. It then became impossible for any ship to cross without permission of the Ottoman forces. At dawn on Tuesday 29th of May, 1453, just 2 years after Fatih became leader, the Ottomans penetrated the walls of Constantinople and took control. After a 2-month-long siege of the city, which was surrounded by land and sea and supported by cannons and tens of thousands of troops, Fatih and a procession of ministers and commanders marched into the city until they reached the Hagia Sophia, where people were gathered. The people were terrified, weeping and bowing to Fatih. After praying, he addressed them. "Stand up. I am Sultan Mehmet, and I would like to tell you, your brothers, and all the people present that your lives and freedoms are protected." Istanbul then became the capital of the Ottoman Empire for the next 469 years.